Hello and welcome to Flagstaff TV. Today we are joined by Brad George, who is the CEO of Orosur Mining. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Catherine, it's a pleasure always.
Thank you. Brad, can you start by telling us about the significance regarding your recent results on Brazil?
I can shortly. I mean, obviously, we understand entirely that Colombia remains, in the eyes of the market, our primary project. We get that. We understand that it's frustrating. We understand that being beyond our control with our partners, it's delayed. But that was always in our mind, and so we always, some years ago, moved toward getting new projects that might, in time, be able to add value in addition to Colombia. And we had El Botano in Argentina, we had Ariquemes in Brazil. The issue with those projects is that we always understood that they were secondary to Ansar, and so they were low cost entry. They were low cost the first few years. They were early stage. They were moving forward slowly, but they ultimately moved forward. And I think it's very pleasing that Ariquemes is now moving forward to a point where it's beginning to look interesting in commerce. It's a very large area, and that's the same issue we face in Pantano, is that it's 3,000 square kilometres, and therefore, where do you start? So our first phase was just a very regional sampling program. How do we narrow down from this huge area to a more focused area? We've done that. We have areas of focus now. So the second stage is, well, okay, did that sampling program work? And does that sampling program give us indications of where we may find mineralization? And so this is the second phase. Second phase is, it's very cheap, very short. It'll cost us 70 or 80 grand. Okay, it's not a lot of money in the context of things, but we're trying to focus on areas of the region now that we have anomalous areas from the regional program. So how can we move that program to something which is indicative of something economic? So we've chosen an area off to the east, which has very high numbers of tin and niobium. Let's do a small program there and try to move that forward to something which is, it might be an ore body as quickly as we can. So that's the primary focus, to very quickly move that forward from regional to local to economic as fast as we can. Now, obviously, it's results dependent, but that area seems to be very amenable to that issue. And that's, I think, one point that maybe we haven't really addressed correctly, is that the nature of these alluvial tin ore bodies is that they are very low capital cost, very low setup cost, very low mining cost. They're very different to hard rock. They can actually be moved forward quite quickly. So the program now is very short, very cheap. It's taking a regional program and moving it forward to a local program. And if that's successful, then we may have an ore body of some sort. So that's phase one with the eastern area. The other prospect to the west near Bonfatura is that Bonfatura is one of the world's great tin ore bodies. And tin ore bodies aren't that big by nature, but they are very valuable. The nature of Bonfatura was that it was found by local people, woodcutters many years ago, mined by locals, not geologists. They worked hard, they did well, but they didn't understand the geology. And a large part of the region was just never explored. They never understood what Bonfatura was. So we are trying to move that project forward from regional to local in a very low cost and very efficient way to get to the point where there is some indication that, yes, this may be economic. So hopefully in about 3 weeks' time, we'll have numbers coming back from the east, numbers back from Bonfatura, and we'll have some very firm indication of whether this really is something we can move forward with. So it's very dry, I get that, but it's a very significant step in what we think can be quite a short program in this part of the world.
Well, Brad, we do look forward to hearing more about this in 3 weeks' time. But first, can you tell us, what does all of this mean for Orosur mining going forward?
Well, Orosur is a small company, and obviously the share price is whatever the share price is. It's obviously not where we want it to be. We have cash in the bank. We've got $3 million in the bank, so we're financially secure. We have a good balance sheet. The main project, Ansar, remains locked up in the bureaucracy of big companies. So that's a JV with Newmont and Agnico. These companies move slowly. I may say glacially, but I would say that will come to a resolution soon, we hope, but we can't wait for that. So we've always been trying to move our other projects forward to the point where they can, in time, stand alongside Ansar as projects of value. So Ansar is the project. We're quite comfortable that that's getting nearer the end and the beginning of where that moves forward, but we want to continue to move the other two projects forward. El Pantano is very positive. That's moving forward well, but obviously in abeyance now with the winter. But Ataquimes is now moving forward to what I think is actually could be quite an attractive opportunity in terms of near-term production, in terms of value, quite quickly. I know it's a very difficult thing to sell to the market. Tin's a very unknown thing, but it's an exceptionally valuable commodity, an exceptionally narrow market around the world. And if we can demonstrate to the world that we've got not only a tin but niobium resource quite quickly, then look, I don't know. I think it's things could turn around quite quickly there.
Brad, thank you very much. Exciting times for Orosur mining, and we do look forward to hearing from you again very soon. Thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure.
And thank you for watching Flagstaff TV.